Awaken, puppets of Geppetto, and welcome fans, new and loyal, to your next installment of The Lies of P, Platinum, All Achievements Guide. So here we are, Krat Central Platform. So in the previous video we got to here, we learnt some bit more about Aladoro from Hugo. We did some tidying around. We've got the Two Dragon Sword, which we did a bit of upgrading into, ready for our Krat. Making our way back to where it all started, essentially. That's what we're doing. So, first and foremost, Hugger over here. We're not going to go for a cheeky backstab because there is that drop pod up top there. So, rope and bob. Trigger the drop trap, that's going to get an enemy, and remember, similar to the last video with these, they will explode on death, so just make sure you jump back and you don't get caught in that explosion for damage plus decay. Get your sawtooths, and for this one, normally, when you throw, you're going to catch the upper beam. So you're going to come over to here by the boxes. And then you can hit it that way. Use your rope. Go back. And at the end of the last video, we went to Marlem for some extra thermites, which we're going to use in a moment. Let's just use a sawtooth on this last trap. Hugger has seen, he's running, and once he's done his hug, we can then get this in. Watch this exploder, and literally dash back. There we go. We don't go to the end yet. No, take a left onto this platform, go left again. And going for a vantage point, equip thermites and sharp pipes. For this big enemy, we're going to use 4 thermite and 3 sharp pipe. And then, if need be, sawtooth, but the burn should do the last bit of damage. Nope, sawtooth. There we go. So for these ones, it's going to be thermite and sawtooth. There we go. Which leaves just that one more. So for him, we're going to use a sawtooth on this blob. That's going to stop the gas and then get a plunge attack. There we go. Now we can come here, open the chest for a quartz. Fire canister over here. And then up the ladder. Obviously for yourselves, grab all the floor loot from those enemies as well. As I mentioned in my videos, I'm not grabbing random enemy drops so that I don't have access to items that you are not guaranteed to have access to. To get rid of an item that you've got none of, select any other item, so I always go for the pocket watch and then press square to then unequip it, and that's how we get rid of those. To keep our inventory nice and tidy. Right, with that done, we can now move onward. Pop these crates. Lock on, we're going to get a plunge, and then we're going to quickly do a rope on that second hugger there. And that way we avoid getting grabbed. Grab the chain. Get your sawtooth ready. As you can see, there is a hanging carcass there. What? What? You're supposed to fall down. I must have hit the train instead. Either way, he's going to walk down. Weird. And for the spewer, enhanced growth does this. After you've done that, there's no item. No item. For this section, I like to equip the Twin Dragon Sword. We're going to be in quite a narrow area, so there's lots of ways that we could end up hitting the walls, which we don't want. So, the enemy that you can see in the distance there, what he does is he does a ground attack that hits you from underneath, even at full range. So that's our priority. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to this door and we are just going to rush to that enemy at the back. There he is, through the door. Fable guy. As you can see, I'm not afraid to use my heal. Oh wow, I am blocked in this corner. There we go. Heal and... Come on. Stop screaming. There we go. Bit of a chaotic area that, so as you can see, most of the time you swing you're going to hit a wall. Priority is on that enemy through the door at the end here. Use this exit as a way of getting your healing, and then you've got to deal with the mob. Come through here and grab the shot put, and now we're going to re-equip our axe blade. Out and left, sawtooth on the gas blob. Grab purification ampule, sawtooth the next gas blob. Grab a radiant ergo. So these are puppets that have carcasses infesting inside of them, so they are slightly stronger than normal. We're going to use rope to make sure that we fight the first two, and that means that it's then a one-on-one on the last one. Keeping it nice and easy. Upward we go, and we're going to open this shortcut, which leads back to the Stargazer before we deal with this. And yeah, we're going to rest at the Stargazer. So, you'll recognise this is where we dropped down. Let's use the Stargazer. Right. Out, and we're going to make our way back to where we just came from. This time we cross the beam, and we're now where we just opened. So big enemy at the end is the last thing that we need to do, so we're going to be careful to not trigger that enemy. going to say, where are the drop traps? I didn't go too far forward, did I? Making sure. There we go. Okay. So in this case, they can see me. Use enhanced rope to try and get a big slam on. Charge attack, fatal, and then back. The big enemies, if you can get an enhanced charged rope, you're going to be able to deal with most of them, to be honest. So. And with him now dealt with, we can trigger this. But the key thing is we don't want to have to fight these exploding enemies and the big guy at the same time, basically. That is your worst case scenario. Grab the Radiant Ergo. And tangle that up. 2 huggers in this section. Let them come to us, because they're eventually going to run out of running, and then we can just finish them off. Oh no. Oh, I just got away with that one. Letting the decay wear down, because we're going to grab a dim ergo. And there we go. Right, catch up with notes, dim ergo, and now we're going to go through the gates, ready for our big scorpion. So get your grindstone, which is the block grindstone. As you can see, there's the scorpion. Apply your indomitable, and then let's try and get an no. Oh no, heal. Table and charge from the stack. There we go. Splits up, and enhance rate. That does so much damage, and there we go. Drops the murderous puppet amulets, which auto picks up for you. Right, now we're going to head back into here. Sawtooth. Keep going, don't worry about the spewers for now. Grab the radiant chunk. And for now we're just going to get out of there. Use the blue ampule. Did I actually grab the ergo in the corner? I don't know if I did now. Right. Oh, let's have a look at that again. Damn it. Didn't grab that. No, come on. Off the gas. There we go. Grab the special purification. I did grab the ergo at the back here, but then there's another ergo over here. And there we go. Back into the area where the scorpion was. come over to here to this lady, grab the resistance ampule. This cart leads you back toward... Is this the one that leads you where you started? Hang on, make a note. Yeah, this is the train where you started. However, sadly, as a wasted opportunity, there's actually nothing waiting for you. So this is the bench. This is where we came out at the beginning. There's nothing here other than these spewers. Such a wasted opportunity, or they've just done it on purpose because they thought everyone was going to go, oh yeah, back at the beginning, let's go back to the chair. And yeah, there's a note, but nothing actually of any consequence, so wasted opportunity. Up the ladder, to the right, up the ramp, nothing to the left, over to the bench for a resistant ampule, and then open the gate, and then you can just see through there, there is the Stargazer. And I've got to walk to the hotel at this point, so let's walk to the hotel. Right, as always, refill your Fable if needed. Mine is full. Craft machine. Modify Aegis to level 2. Guard parry. Head over to Polydina, and we're going to purchase... So that we have a total of 20 sawtooth, so that's 6 for me I need to purchase. You may need to get more or less depending on how many you had to throw earlier on. Head upstairs. Let's gather our fruit.
Stalker.
Let's get a friendship wish stone, and I'd suggest let's get another recovery wish stone, or do we want to advance? Let's go with advance. That's what I did in my original notes, and I'm going to stick to my original notes. So that's going to help us for... There's a couple of bosses where we can't summon spectres, so we're going to utilise the Aegis more for blocking. The advanced cube stone refills our Legion mag. There's the cat. In fact, show you an improvement on the cat. It now lets us stroke the cat. Another wasted opportunity. No trophy for when you finally get to pick up and cuddle the cat. Nose is coming along nicely there. You can actually see now it's starting to get some definition. Over to the chair. And add amulet 2. We're going to put the second one into there. And we're going to go survival auto charge pulse when discharged. So as the name suggests there, what that means now is previously when you have no pulse cells left and you successfully hit enemies, that charges up your empty pulse cell. Now that empty pulse cell will constantly charge itself without you needing to do any hits. So if you hit something, you're going to get an even bigger boost. But it means now that, as a matter of time, you can fill an empty pulse cell charge once. And by once, if you use it, it will then happen again. Come down, find Sophia. We are going to spend 1 Radiant Ergo chunk for 2,000. And we spend 1 Resplendent Ergo for 700, just in case you had to spend more on Sawtooths.
Whatever choice you make.
Level up capacity to 29. And now we're going to walk back to Chapter 9.1, Central Station Platform. Right, out and to the right, if you're walking, that hugger won't pay any attention to you. That's how a lot of the shortcuts in this work, to be fair. Come back on yourself. Grab this dim ergo fragment. Do not attack. Do not attack in here.
Don't kill me.
So, if you recall, in the previous video, Belle at the hotel asked us to find her partner, and here he
Are
is.
you a stalker? The suburbs, as communications cover.
And he asks us to deliver his letter to Belle. There we go. Now we've got that. That can get us some humanity points, so long as we tell her that he was killed in action, as opposed to turning into a monster. Right, through here is onwards. However, first we need to grab a weapon. This whole area is just one big ambush, so keep that in mind. And there's the crawler puppets. So these puppets have their own version of puppet string, worth noting. So there you go. They fire the string, and then they follow up, just like we do. They pull themselves towards us, and then they do a fury attack. As you might have seen there, I intentionally kept my distance so that I can use rope to make sure that I'm not having to be surrounded. If they surround you, they can just constantly stagger lock you, and actually do pose a risk of killing you. So, once you've done that, come around here, and there is another one. Oh, I wouldn't enhance. Don't want to get hit by him. There we go. Yeah, just respect the amount of damage they can do, and you'll be fine. Open the chest for normal weapon 23 of 29, the Master's Chef Knife. Back on right. Back on right. Back on route. Inside. Up the stairs. Hugger is going to drop down from here. Grab the resplendent ergo. Up the stairs. Hugger. Two huggers here. Make sure to use your rope. And now grab the vivid ergo fragment from up there. You do take a little bit of damage from that drop, as it turns out. Right, we're going to fight an elite hunter, the robber weasel, inside here. So, backstab where you can. He is aggressive, he avoids puppet string type attacks like enhanced rope. If you can get enhanced rope, it does a lot, as it does to everything. But yeah, so I've just used the Indomitable Grinder, and I'm going to try. Yeah, there we go. He just keeps dodging. So we're going to go for a big Fable attack as our best method. Charge attacks can try and catch him off guard. And they are your best option, because otherwise he's going to dodge, Whereas charge attack gets around his dodging. Ah, double dodge. Have a fable. Have a shot put. There is a chance that he dodges these shot puts.
You ought to give to the needy.
Oh, you dodged that backstab. Dodge that. Oh, you double dodged. My time. Bam!
I don't want to die. I just wanted a full belly.
So
That's
much
not
easier
so
when you
wrong.
can just use the charge attacks with a big axe. But yeah, very difficult otherwise, to be fair. You know, perfect blocks need to be on point to break the weapon to at least reduce the damage. Otherwise, just focus on your normal blocking. And the fact that the rope doesn't do much in that fight makes it a bit difficult. Dropped his mask and cape for anyone interested in wearing that. And you may notice this is where we fought our first ever elite of the game, the police officer in here. And interestingly, these particular cases we can't get past. Yep. Impervious, can't get past. Yep, these are the cases that are too much. So we have to go the long way around. There you are. Carcass there. Puppet here. Grab the resplendent Ergo. Oh, floor attacks. So yeah, if you see a carcass drop to their knees, that means they're doing the ground attack. So as keep moving, but just hold your block, because you don't know how accurate they're going to be. These I call the divers. Don't go for a backstab, it won't work. Instead, enhanced rope. And enhanced rope should always kill the divers. Come around here for a Fable Cat. And continue on. There is a yellow butterfly. So for the yellows, 2 hits, block, and then finish with 1 or 2 more hits. Alchemical booster, so that will speed up the rate that the gold coin tree sprouts gold coin fruit. Grab the cat dust, drop, and I would say get your backstab, but why would the game give me a backstab? Round here, if you recall last time there was an ambush from the left, this time there is an ambush from the stall. So walk forward while blocking and see if it's going to do an attack. If it does that charge, if it rushes you, you've already got your block up. But we're going to grab the Dark Moon Moonstone. Out, out. Down there is a Trinity door, but we don't have a Trinity key, but it's worth noting that that's what that is. Here's the Stargazer. And if you wanted to go back to that room, you'll note from where the Scorpion fight was that these, you know, these suitcases, which clearly could not possibly be moved, are in the way. Have a rest. The Stargazer that's just outside here is not going to be here anymore, which is why that one inside is there. Left for a Legion Mag. Be wary, there is an ambush hugger over there, and there is a diver up front. So, make sure we pop the hugger first, and then enhanced rope will finish off the diver. So we've got to stay left. And there's a puppet. And then on the other side there with the larger metal item, that is what I class as a tough puppet. Key thing to note with that is the carcass infection on him is stronger, so it's going to use carcass style whips as extra ways of damaging us. So, enhanced, back away, enhanced, block when he gets staggered. That is a trap that is so easy to fall into, is when enemies do attacks when they get staggered. Open the chest for normal weapon, 24 of 29, the Coil Mjolnir. Over to the left, diver, enhanced rope. Oh no. Enhanced rope. Keep an eye, that should not attack, but just keep an eye as you grab this thermite. And for the big thing, we're just going to use a sawtooth so that it can come to us. So we're going to fight him one-on-one. So we're going to use a combination of charge attacks, fable, and dash, similar to before. Charge attack, get back. Charge attack, use fable, get back, charge attack. So the key thing is it's the hit and run tactic. And when we're running, we are specifically backing away. At this point, I'm going to use a Legion. One Legion match should be enough. Actually, no. Let's use 2. We've got plenty. But I want to make sure we get the rope. Oh no, where's the dog? There's the dog. Hadn't moved. But yeah, we want to make sure we rope the carcass dogs, as they can otherwise be a problem. Grab the emergency protection. Grab the acid canister. Grab the dim ergo chunk by the statue. Back round on the other side of the cart, grab the radiant ergo. Charge, pop the carcass puppet. And then we've got one more diver. So we're going to throw a sawtooth. Get him away from those weirdo dog things, so we can dispatch. Up the stairs, originally this is where there were 3 puppets, and this gate was locked, however that's now, as you can see, very much not locked. Around the back, get a charge attack on the first spewer. If they're not seeing you, get a charge attack on the second one. Double checking my notes. Statue, yeah, big guy. Right. Before we fight him, use your grindstone. Get a free enhanced rope attack. Get a fable. Get a charge. And we'll take the trade. table and smack. Charge attack. There we go. As always, charge attacks are just incredible. He drops a Legion plug, which you don't have to pick up, it auto picks up for you. Here, just be careful on the right, there is a hugger. Trigger him, and then just get further away than he's going to go. And here is a half moonstone. Head inside and fire up the Stargazer. Do I carry on from it? Oh, I do. Okay, so let's have a rest. Up the stairs, we are going to spend a significant amount of money here, somewhere in the region of 12,000. There's a fairy tale on the bar, grab that, have a read for some lore, and let's talk to the Wandering Merchant.
Even if the abnormal...
Okay. Purchase the military shovel. That is normal weapon 25 of 29. 3 converters. 3 cheap shot puts. And 3 cheap carcass fluids. There we are. And now let's open the door to the lovely sight that is more of Krat.